I hope you guys enjoyed that little presentation that I did at the beginning of the video. And we'll get on and go over some of the gear here. I can finally show you my Finnish gear. Just so you know right off the bat, and that's in a lot of my videos, like my World War II videos, and even my Viet Cong and Vietnam videos. Is, my stuff ain't 100% correct, but just the look, the part is really what I'm worried about. The only thing here that's 100% correct is the rifle, which I can finally show you, my M39. This is what the Finnish would have been using back in World War II or during the Winter War. I got the typical white camouflage on. Luckily we had a bit more snow so I can make this video, but everything's melting now. Got my bread bag, which the Finns would have used. They would have the strap. Just got some basic brown leather pouches there, just a basic leather belt, a little felt covered canteen. Like I say, this stuff ain't 100% accurate, and the white uniform itself, it is Finnish, but it's post-war. It's M62 camo, because it has the double-sided for the summertime. Here I got all the Russian gear, some of the Russian gear. My phone's about to die, so I might have to go a little quick about this. But yeah, the Finnish and the Russians, they both use Mosins. The Finnish got their Mosins and stuff from the Russians back during the Finnish Civil War in 1918. And then during the 1920s and stuff, they refined them and made them a little bit, better. You can see here, you got the thick front sights, overbuilt barrel. They got thin barrels. The Russian gun, compared to the Finnish, is real thin. You see the Finns got like a sporterized version here. They got the pistol grip. Well, not, just an actual grip. And everything right here, this would all be the same. And since these are both of my Mosins are old, they're hexagon, breech. I forget what year. This one's, I think, a 1920 something, but I don't know what year this one is. This one might be a 27 or 28. This one could even be older though. You can see the sights are a bit different. Like I say, the Russians, they just made them real thin. While the Finns just overbuilt everything. And we got the barrel bayonet. The Finns had an actual lug, which I don't have a bayonet, because a bayonet for this gun would cost as much as the gun itself. I do actually have a sling on here. This is the actual correct sling. And I got the Russian sling. This one here is actually made for cavalry, because it has kind of like a Car 98 kind of deal going on, so you can sling it over your back without it being uncomfortable. Yeah, the Winter War, that started in 1939. To 1940. It was only a 3-month war. The Finns knew that they were going to be overrun by the Russians eventually, so they all just banded together and did something. They did have actual military forces and stuff like that, but a lot of their stuff would have just been thrown together. It would have just been regular people to just have whatever kind of gear they could get a hold of, because stuff wasn't really standardized. So we got the Russian pouches here. These belts here, this one would kind of be reminiscent to what they actually had in World War II for the Russians. This one here would be post-war, but they might have had something like that towards the end of the war. We got some flashlights that they would have had at the time period. These are that Swiss. They got the little star on there. Got the Russian helmet. This is a German M43 cap, but I did have a Finnish hat, but I shot it in the one video for the slow motion Mosin with the pumpkin. And then whenever the Finns joined the Germans in 41 for the continuation war, they would have been given, you know, supplies from Germany and stuff. Apparently this German helmet, I don't really know a bunch about it, but it actually is like an actual World War II helmet. I was told it might have been post-war, but it was for the Finns. It's repainted, it's like a reissued helmet. Of course it has a new liner in it. That liner ain't original. Got this here, the Finns like to use Molotovs. I forget the one Russian dude named Molotov something. Well, that was his last name, so they use that for a joke. This would be the proper way of how to make one. You know, nowadays with the protesters and shit, they put a fucking rag in the top of it and call it that. Well, that's unsafe when you go to throw it. See, the Finns would have had it sealed up and had slow burning matches or flares tied to it. You light them, and when you break it and smash it, bang, then it works. Without it, you don't have to worry about spilling over you. We got a Yashanka here. Now, of course, this is a stereotypical badge. They would just have the regular old little star back then. This ain't a correct one for World War II because of the color and stuff. This is more of a modern one. That's all I got. Got the little side cap. I don't have no pins on there either. Yeah, right here, this is basically what a Finn would look like in World War II. The hat is, they did have hats like this, but this is what the officers would be wearing. This is more of a, this is a Swedish hat. But the Finns had the same exact kind of hat. It would just, the funny thing is, the Finns hat would look like this. It would just be the exact opposite and just be full like this. Underneath here, and this is what I wore in my World War II short film, this sniper duel. This is a Swedish uniform too, a Swedish hat, and I got a Swedish World War II uniform, which the Swedish actually did help the Finns a little bit during the Winter War. So it's not like it's entirely wrong. I just don't have a Swedish Mauser. I got a Finnish M39. So that's why I did this loadout. Like I said, I'm glad there was finally some snow, at least laying around, so that I could at least look somewhat the part with my white camouflage and everything. Yep, that's about it. And maybe I already got a round in here. Maybe we'll pop a round off here real quick. The funny thing is, with the people always give the Finnish credit for their refined, right? Which they are refined. Don't get me wrong, they're nice and they're overbuilt and everything. But I just don't like the sights. It's too thick. You know, I'm blind as it is, and I can't see with these sights. With the Russians, it's a nice thin little sight, and I can actually hit with it. This thing, I can't really hit with it, but it's the user. It's me. I'm not blaming the gun. It's me. I know it's me. We're kind of close here. Let's see if I can miss. Yeah, I did miss. That's the one round I had in there. Alright. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.